Hey guys, welcome to the Paint with Lovejoy website. This is the place for first-time and beginners to get comfortable with the painting process. If you have never painted, I am definitely the teacher for you. I will give you permission to play, to create with your hands, and I do consider this adult kindergarten, where you get to make memories with yourself or with loved ones. And you will notice that creative time is something that you will reference for the rest of your life. I do encourage you to send me photos of your paintings. And when you're done with my YouTube videos, please check out my Paint Your Pet course for even more in-depth and kind of my signature class. It's a lot of fun. Before we get started, I want to say thank you for being you. And I also want to give you permission to play today. I'm going to encourage that you take a lot of progress photos, and I do recommend that you turn off your distractions. Put your phone on mute. Please know that mistakes will happen. We call them happy accidents. And I'm going to encourage you to breathe throughout the painting process. Here are your recommended supplies and the colors for this particular video. This video also has a traceable, a line drawing at the beginning, and you can either purchase the traceable and transfer, or you can pause the video and draw it freehand, whichever you feel comfortable doing. Again, progress photos are important. And I'm going to encourage that you pause and play the video as much as you need and rewatch anything that you want. Now let's go ahead and get started painting.
Hey guys, another fun painting. Grab your progress photo to get that started. And we're going to start with the flat brush, smaller medium flat brush, white paint with a little bit of yellow, kind of going for a lemony yellow color. Now a lot of times I do like to kind of pull the colors in between the two colors and make a new pile. And we're going to start at that horizon line, kind of work our way from that line towards the top of the canvas. Now, I do recommend, especially if this is your first painting, I do want you to apply your paint a little bit thicker. So that way it's going to cover and fill in the texture of the canvas and make it a little bit easier for your application and some of your blending. Now, it is okay if you overlap those traceable lines, especially for that rock formation back from the distance. We will paint over this with the black paint later. So again, totally okay to overlap those lines. So now we're going to move into yellow, and we're going to put some kind of accent colors around the edge of the lighter yellow. So with the yellow slightly overlapping that lemony yellow, and with that light pressure where that overlap happens, you can do a little bit of blending. And feel free to pause the video as much as you need. We're going to move on to a pink color, and that is going to be white with a little bit of red. A tiny amount of red will go a long way to make your shade of light pink. And same thing, we're going to apply it around the perimeter. You can kind of mimic the design and the shape that I'm doing on the video, or you can kind of go in your own direction. With that being said, you do not have to exactly match the colors that you see on screen. If your pink is darker or lighter than what's on screen, totally okay. Just the fact that you're taking time out of your day and you're painting, you are already successful. And if you do need to take a deep breath, just pause the video, inhale and exhale, and just relax. Now, if you have to make your shade of pink a second or third time, do not stress about getting the exact same shade every time. If it's a little lighter or darker when you mix your new color, just embrace that. That's okay. Because in a moment, we will go a little bit darker. So again, like I said, just the fact that you're painting, you're doing a great job. I'm really proud of you. So here we're going to add a little bit more red to our mixture, going about 2 shades darker than what you were just using. And it is kind of nice if you just do that mixture on the edge, what I call perimeter mixing. And then that way you still have access to that lighter pink should you need it. It is okay to overlap some of the areas of the yellow. And when you're done with your shades of pink, I do recommend that progress photo. You're going to want to clean your brush really good because we're going to move to light blue next. So clean that brush, pull some white aside. A little bit of blue is going to go a long way to make that light blue. And we're going to kind of keep filling in the sky and that background area. So just like with the other colors, we're going around the perimeter, filling in that space. If you overlap the traceable, again, completely okay. And it is okay with this light blue to overlap the pink. You may make a slight purple or light lilac color. Play with that. Um, Sometimes it's just kind of fun to see what the two colors, the new color that they make or the new gradient shade that they make when you mix them. So again, play with that. And like I said earlier with the shades of pink, if you have to make that shade a light blue again, don't stress about getting the exact same shade every time. Each time you mix your colors, your brain's taking that information in, and it does get easier the more that you paint and the more that you mix your colors. So this is excellent practice for building your future skill. Now here we're going to go a little bit darker with that blue, add a little bit more blue to your mixer so you're going one or two shades darker than what you were using. And we will use this color to fill in the remaining canvas space in our sky. And then we'll let the paint dry and then we'll come back and do the silhouette. All right, you're doing a great job. Keep filling up that space. And then we'll give you a moment to where you can go back in the background and kind of add and play with any of the colors before it dries. So you're doing a great job. Remember to breathe, relax, enjoy the process. And I usually tell a lot of my students, if you have any stress or frustrations, throw it into your background, throw it into the paint. So a good spot to take a progress photo. And again, this is where I want you to just play with the background. You want to go back with some more yellows or pinks or blues or purples, anything that you want to do. And I'm going to go in with some more shades of pink and then some yellow and just kind of give some more pop accent colors in the background. And you can overlap your other shades. You can make new colors. This is a really fun part to just kind of play with it. And I do want you to trust your instinct. If you're kind of hovering your brush somewhere going, ooh, should I put this color here? Go ahead and put that color there. Painting is a safe place to just kind of explore and experiment and try different things and see what happens. This is just paint. You can always paint this again, or you can always let it dry and paint on top of it. So here you can see I grabbed some of that yellow. I'm overlapping some of the shades of pink and the blue. Again, just kind of play with this and trust your instincts and enjoy the process of painting. So when you are finally done, take your progress photo. We're going to let your background dry for about 15 or 20 minutes. And I want you to notice how you feel. Hopefully you're a little more relaxed and enjoying the process. So I am going to have a paint your pet ad. You can watch the ad or just pick up the video and resume painting when this is over. So my paint your pet course is my all-time favorite class to teach, and it is especially perfect for those of you that have never painted before. When you step into your creativity, you realize you're a lot more creative than you realize, and you end up enjoying it a lot more. And when you learn to paint what you love, it's so much more satisfying. So check out the Paint Your Pet course, check out that discount code, get creative, get some friends together, maybe come to my in-person class, or check out my online course. I have been teaching this for about 15 years and it's so much fun. You can paint your pet or favorite animal. You will impress yourself and you will impress your pet. My steps and my process are very simple and logical and easy for you to follow. Again, perfect for first time and beginners. And here comes my favorite part where I ask my students after class to send me pictures of their painting and their pet. And I love seeing these photos. These pets are so happy and so proud of their humans. And it's a lot of fun. So when you're done with my YouTube, check out the Paint Your Pet course. Now that we're ready to start painting, I want you to look at your painting from about 10 feet away. Notice how you like it a little bit more from that distance. Everything looks better from a distance. So kind of get in that habit as you paint to look at it from about 10 feet away. So now we're going to move into the silhouette design. I'm using the flat brush, maybe a little bit bigger than what you were using or the same one that you're using for your background. We're going to use black paint to fill this in, but you do have full permission if you want to switch colors, do something different, go right ahead and use the color of your choice. Now we are applying that paint thick enough so that way it is covering all the texture of the canvas. And again, if you are seeing that texture of the canvas, apply your paint a little bit thicker or add a touch of water and that will give your paint a little bit more fluidity and it'll help fill in the texture. If you're adding water to your paint, make sure you're never adding more than 30% because you don't really want great runny paint and you don't want it kind of going all over the place. Do remember to breathe. A lot of times we get so caught up in what we're doing that we hold our breath without even realizing it. That's why I leave these little prompts on my tutorial. All right. So we've got the kind of the ground filled in as we move into what they call the mittens for this rock formation from Monument Valley. Sometimes it might be easier to use the pointy brush. So feel free to switch out the brushes with whatever is comfortable for you. You don't always have to follow exactly what is on the screen. Now, as we're doing these rock formations, as you reach the edge, sometimes you might get a little bit of that texture of the canvas showing through on the edges. So this is where you can use a little bit more paint or add that touch of water to your paint to kind of help fill in that texture. And in a moment, will switch down to the pointy brush to kind of get that rock formation further back in the distance and to get that little thumb finger for the front one. So again, just that pointy brush, your black paint, play with your pressure. If you are kind of shaky right now and a little bit nervous, exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, and that's going to help steady out your hand. Now, if you end up making a slightly different rock formation, totally okay. Embrace wherever you're at for today's painting. Nice. And again, remember to breathe. Exhale as you touch that brush to the canvas and just kind of fill in that space. Painting is not a race. It's not about who finishes first. And it's not really even about who does the best job. Painting is more about the time that you are spending with yourself, with your creative materials, and with learning something new. You are engaging your brain as you learn something new, and it's very healthy um, for your brain and for yourself. So as we get that final detail in there, if there's anything extra you want to add, if you want to put birds in the sky, maybe hikers out there, anything that you want to add to your silhouette, go right ahead and do that. When you are done, take that progress photo. You should be very proud of yourself. Please do not wait too long to do your next painting. I prefer my students to paint once a month, if not weekly. Please send me photos of what you paint. You can tag me or send them to the email. And then definitely check out the Paint Your Pet course when you are done with my YouTube stuff. Again, thanks so much for painting. And until next time, cheers.